Hi everyone, how are you? I know, long time no see. T.O.P has released his new solo album titled Top Spot Another Dimension. It comprises 11 tracks, which I find pretty significant because he's back in the industry after 11 years of hiatus. This album covers T.O.P's past, especially his scandal and his life after that. So it feels like a memoir in the format of songs. In this album, he shares about the happy moments he shared with Big Bang, how the group slowly fell apart, the drug scandal, his past relationships, how he was a showpiece in the industry, and also the sacrifices that he himself has made to fit into the industry. Not everyone in the industry can be honest about things because they'll get cancelled. So I'm glad people like him are using this power to out the industry. This album primarily uses people's names apart from Catholic and art references, and we can see where Top draws his inspiration for music from. This is the gist of the album, and kindly subscribe to my channel so I can make more such reviews. Thanks to the person who told me my BTS Arirang review lacked a depth, I had to analyze the lyrics, which unfortunately I hadn't done. And well, that's what is helping me to make this video, and I've analyzed whatever I could. I might have missed some things during the analysis, so kindly comment that in the comments. And in case you want me to improve something, please leave a comment. I will work on it if it's constructive criticism. Thank you. I fried my brain cells compiling this information, so let's get started with the detailed song analysis. The album starts with Self-Crucifixion, which talks about how people tore him apart after his marijuana use scandal, but his fans were always supportive and had his back. His fan support reassured him to make a comeback post the marijuana scandal. Scarlet Letter of Sin is a reference to Hester, who wore a red A on her chest after being punished by Puritarians. I think she was punished for adultery if I'm not wrong. Similarly, T.O.P self-crucifies himself by overdosing on meds, leaving Big Bang and going on a hiatus to escape being tormented. In the second half, news excerpts talk about how T.O.P or Choi Sing-hoon was indicted for marijuana use, overdosed on the prescribed anti-anxiety meds, how he was the first and only Korean chosen for the SpaceX Luna project by Elon Musk. He blocked Big Bang fan accounts who were celebrating the group's anniversary to wipe out memories about the group after being called a problematic idol. He surfaced after 11 years and regrets letting his fans down, but he will continue making music. Moving on to the next song, The Giant talks about how T.O.P was the only person who could save himself from the depths of hell after everything he went through. He also admits that the scandal was caused due to his own faults. He also says that everybody looks prim and polished on the outside, but at the end of the day, we are one and the same because all of us are made of the same cosmic dust particles. An honorable mention in this song is Sean Dulake, who is a close friend of T.O.P. Sean Dulake has praised Top for his different style of music and says that his music is something that the world has never experienced before. T.O.P was previously working under YG Entertainment, which is one of the big 3 companies in Korea. So he says he knows how the industry works and he can't be controlled because he knows their flaws. He also says that he used the words hurled at him as fuel to rise to the position he is, which is the top. The song also touches on his past relationships and how things that temporarily gave him pleasure are the source of his own nightmares now because they ruined his life. Sometimes he feels astonished since everything feels like a dream and he can't believe he's continued living post the trauma caused by the scandal. The Giant also has T.O.P's lyrics from the song Loser. I forgot which one actually. I haven't written it in my script. Yes, I follow a script most times because I can't think stuff immediately. I need to write it down. I need to read it and process that information before I tell you what it is. Anyways, getting back to the video, the third song, Studio 54, talks about the unbelievable trajectory of life where everything seems fine, but suddenly everything changes one day. The song title being Studio 54 is significant because Studio 54 was the epicenter of celebrity culture, discourse, and it also involved drugs. The reason it's significant is because Top has kind of been a part of all of this, so that's why he's used the name Studio 54 for the song. He talks about how fans and his ex-girlfriend friends were worried just like his mother after the news of his marijuana scandal broke out. So when he lost everything, he traded his luxurious life for the simple life he's living, and he's never felt this free before. Even though he loves Big Bang, he says he won't return to them because his past haunts him wherever he goes, and he also feels like he's let them down by getting involved in some stuff. He says he feels guilty because he doesn't think he'll be able to go back to the same T.O.P he was before everything went down. Papillon is mentioned in this song. Papillon draws parallels to T.O.P's life because both T.O.P and Henri Charrier spent 11 years trapped, and even though it was late, they both were set free. The dirty sun could refer to either the burning sun scandal or how, the sun sets and Big Bang's fame also set along with it. The dirty sun disturbed him deeply, but it also made sure that T.O.P reflects on his past instead of being critical about it and living with regret. Moving on to the fourth song, a small filthy show window or Ovaya highlights his life as an idol, and it also tells us how he felt pressured to perform and why he won't return to Big Bang. He tells us that he loved spending time with Big Bang, but there were 5 different people with 5 different dreams who had to go their separate ways. During his prime, his life felt performative, it lacked privacy, and he felt like he was treated like an object for public observation rather than a person with feelings. It was suffocating living a perfect life and being judged for everything and anything he did. So he felt like he was living in an uncomfortable, small, filthy show window. There's a proverb used in this song: your belly button is bigger than your stomach, which means someone who's focusing on unimportant things rather than stuff that should be done right now. This probably means that Big Bang initially started as a group who loves music, but slowly they started developing different interests and had to go their separate ways, which led to the group Big Bang losing meaning. He also mentioned that there were days where he has cried alone during his scandal with nobody to support him, but now he started anew because life goes on. The yellow light in this song refers to Big Bang's light stick, which is yellow in color, and there was a time where Big Bang as a group were untouchable, but the burning sun scandal changed their dynamics and it slowly and surely led to their downfall. Big Bang was his everything, but he's restarted because his love for music still lives on. Coming to the interlude, I don't know if it's the interlude, but I'm going to call it that because it feels like a transition between the first half and the second half. Zero Coke is a song that talks about his youth and how everything felt perfect. He didn't really fear much during his youth because he had everything he wanted, but the illusion soon faded and he was left desolate, wanting some company. Coming to the fifth song, Another Dimension Holy Dude talks about the musical rebirth of T.O.P and how he's going to put the past in the past and he's going to focus on the present where he loves music and is going to continue creating it. Honorable mentions in this song are Stanley Kubrick, The Wine Costurer, and Da Vinci. I have interpreted this as T.O.P strives perfection like Kubrick, wants his music smooth like the wine, and Da Vinci because T.O.P's music is multidisciplinary. People must analyze it and it should not be judged. Rabbit Hole is a reference to Alice in Wonderland where Alice falls down a rabbit hole which has bizarre events happening there. T.O.P's stream of thoughts are like a rabbit hole, so he keeps having one after another, and his thoughts are not all happy. The reality is more grim than it appears, and this is made clear when he says Pandora's box of thoughts. Similarly, his music isn't all sunshine and rainbows, it's a reflection of himself. So buckle up to enter another dimension and exclaim holy dude. Moving to the sixth song, Soul Chaos tells us about the grim reality of Seoul and how it is far away from being the city of dreams. T.O.P says he feels like he's growing more and more insane as every day in Seoul passes. The city of Seoul is like a fever dream where everything is bizarre, but life still passes despite how absurd things are. Regardless of who you are, you're welcome to enjoy his music, but just remember the fall isn't so kind to you. I think that's what he means when he says get into my hot air balloon, but if you fall down, you're just a chunk of meat. That's the translated lyrics. I obviously don't know Korean. He has personally experienced Seoul's hierarchy where he was celebrated when he was on the top, and when he fell, people abandoned him because he was no longer on the top. He also references limbus patrum, which is a Catholic concept of the intermediate location after death, so it's neither heaven nor hell. It's just somewhere in between. This draws parallels to his scandal, overdosing, and leaving Big Bang, where he felt like he was floating somewhere. Rock, paper, scissors has been mentioned in the song Ovaya before this, and is a game of chance which decides the fate of the player. There are many honorable mentions in this song, starting with Joan Michel, who is an American artist and printmaker known for her abstract art, which needed keen eyes to understand what was going on. And this is what set her apart. So T.O.P probably means to say that his music is catered to the audience who looks into the keen details and doesn't listen to it on a surface level. So his music is basically art, and this is what sets him apart in the industry. Museum Liam, managed by Samsung Foundation of Culture, is one of the 3 private museums in Korea, and T.O.P says that his music is so prestigious, it compares to the contribution of the art in the museum. So basically his music is a big contribution to the industry. C.Y. Twombly is another American artist whose art looks like children's scribbles. Then again, it needs an understanding eye to experience it. That's the same with T.O.P's music. On the surface level, it seems like noise music, but if you are a connoisseur of art, you'll be able to understand his songs. Once you understand it, you'll see the point. Caviar, Hoog, and Hermes don't denote luxury in the lyrics. Here, they talk about how only someone with taste can understand what makes them interesting. Coming back to Seoul, it provides an illusion of a luxurious life, but it's just a city filled with dust that is suffocating, which he also lives in. The Hello Hi, I'm So High is a reference to his collaboration with GD in the song Hi Hi. I have noticed the recurring appearance of moon in this album, so let me explain that to you. A lunar cycle is 29.5 days, where every 29.5 days the moon changes, which also signifies rebirth. I think the full moon signifies rebirth in specific. During the full moon, we see a bright disk in the sky, which is what T.O.P is now. Topmost King connects with his name T.O.P, which tells us how he was always the talk of the town, and he still holds a significant position in the industry, which we also know from the hot air balloon reference. Moving to the title track, Desperado is an outlaw on the American borders, and T.O.P uses this word to describe how he was a criminal in his own country and was treated like an outcast. It sounds like a romantic song, but it's not. But it could be a love song that tells us how much he loves making music and how he'll continue to make it, like there's no time left. He also mentions curves in this song, but I think it could be the curves in the music notes. The phrase known out in Korea refers to somebody who the Korean public doesn't know. Ironically, T.O.P is a reputed name in the industry, and most people in Korea know him. Moonman has a lot of meanings, but I took the one that suits this context. So Moonman describes somebody who is out of touch with the industry, which is what T.O.P is now that he has returned to the industry after 11 years, which also means that he's starting all over again. An honorable mention is Paul Gauguin, who used this art to set the stage for colorful art that express the ideas of the artist, also called Fauvism and Expressionism. In similar terms, T.O.P uses his music to express his feelings. Tom and Jerry also refers to the internal conflict that he has while expressing himself. Coming to the next song, For Fans is a closure for his fans who hope he'll be performing as Big Bang's T.O.P. He says that he's happy to have people support him, but he's also scared of hurting them. Also, the line that translates to red, yellow, orange, green are T.O.P's lyrics from the Big Bang song Last Dance. Kalkon is a conical snack with a sharp tip, which is usually placed on your fingers while eating. Since we have 5 fingers in a hand, I interpreted it as 5 members in Big Bang. So he asks what happened to the 5 of us. Weren't we supposed to be focused on music? When they separated, he was anxious and scared about the unknown future. But he says even if they all followed their dreams, they'll all be there for each other as people, but they won't be back together as Big Bang. Moving on to the next song, Stendhal syndrome is also called as art attack. I feel like it rhymes with heart attack, so also the symptoms are kind of similar. It's a psychosomatic disorder, which means a physical ailment that is worsened due to your mental state. It also mimics a panic attack, but this happens only to people who are overwhelmed by the art they are consuming. I think this song also tells us how T.O.P feels overwhelmed when he is creating music, because there's a lot of inputs and he has to think a lot of things. Tempo was T.O.P's underground rapper name pre-debut, so he says he's reborn as Tempo but goes by the name T.O.P now. Another thing about the moon, remember I told you he was selected for the SpaceX Dear Moon project? That was his dream and he was proud about being selected, but now he says he'll choose music over the Dear Moon project, even though that made him really proud. Sotheby's auction is first mentioned, and Sotheby's auction is basically a place which exhibits the finest of art, jewelry, wine, any luxury you can imagine. And Ed Ruscha is an American legendary artist who creates pop and conceptual digital art that looks simple but it's layered. Also, Ed Ruscha is the one who created Top Spot Another Dimensions album cover. T.O.P describes a simple idea of love with coffee and breakfast while checking Sotheby's auction, reviewing emails, and admiring the art installations in his house, which also happen to be his personal space. He also mentions that he puts on a performative mask for the world, but what he really craves is that simple love. Okay, this is the last song. Oh my god, I've spoken for so long. Be Solid is a song from T.O.P dedicated to T.O.P, where he talks about how he was held down by his past and gave into stuff easily, but now he has made a promise to himself and he will not lose himself like he did previously. Even if he does, he'll still pick himself up from the bottom. He has mentioned that he felt empty after the scandal and kept getting dragged down by people around him because they could not let it go. So he says he started fresh, and even though he's someone who cries a lot because he thinks about the past, he will be someone who'll stand his ground, aka a solid ground, and will not give up easily like he did in the past. Okay, I spoke a little fast, but my storage space is running out. So let me tell you how I analyze these songs. During the first listen, I just listened to the songs to see if I vibed with them. I didn't try to understand the lyrics because that would be information overload and somebody can't multitask. During the second listen is when I analyzed the lyrics in depth. I used Genius translations, and this person on Twitter had translated the lyrics. I'll include their link in the description, so please do check it out. I had to compare a lot of things to understand stuff. I also searched their names up to see why they were used in this. First time I've used my brain, to be honest. Anyways, I'm sure I would have missed a lot of things, so please do tell me what I've missed. After recording this video, I realized I forgot to share my thoughts about this album. That's the most important part, right? Because I've analyzed the album from top to bottom. I know this is not a perfect review. I might have missed out a lot of Big Bang references, which I know he's included in the lyrics, but it kind of flew over my head. I think it was just information overload for me. Also, moving to and fro confused my small little brain cells. They said bye bye, see you never. I know most times this bird was covering my mouth, but I didn't realize that when I was filming. At least right now, I hope I'm not covering my mouth. Honest thoughts incoming, because I just want to explain my thoughts as someone who loves listening to music and enjoys them. You know what's impressive about this album? It's that T.O.P held the bull by its horns. He didn't shy away from his past. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He did not sweep it under the rug. He didn't blame anybody else for it. He's taken the blame for his fault and he's told that it's his mistake, but he's still passionate about music and he will continue making it no matter what. He annihilated the netizens, K-media, the company, anybody who wants to speak ill about him. The overall factor that made this album enjoyable was probably the smooth transition between songs. It started with angry and sad, and then it transitioned to happy and hopeful. I know this album must have hit hard for the VIPs, but I was really happy to see that it got a very good reception. The fact that the title of each song was a perfect fit is very noteworthy. Once you understand the lyrics, you'll automatically see how the song title fits perfectly, and it makes sense. As soon as I started listening to the album, I started liking it. So let me list my favorite songs. It's Self-Crucifixion, Studio 54, A Small Filthy Show Window or Ovaya, Soul Chaos, For Fans, and Stendhal Syndrome. I literally pre-saved the album and I was like, okay, when it releases, I am definitely going to listen to the music because T.O.P has never disappointed me before. I scrambled to find the lyrics as soon as possible. Thanks to the account on X for posting the lyrics translations immediately. You were a lifesaver. I know I called it Twitter in this video sometimes and not X, but I'm old. I'm used to the term Twitter. Please excuse that. Before this, I have heard both of T.O.P's singles, Turn It Up and Dum Dada. I think Dum Dada is my favorite. The music video especially, it's perfect. And I'm also happy to see him rebound after everything went downhill for him. I can't imagine the amount of pain he must have felt, but I'm so happy to see he's back. So there was a thought that came to my mind. Just imagine how stressful the industry is, that people have to resort to substances to numb their pain. I didn't analyze it from a musician's perspective because I lack the kind of knowledge that helps me distinguish them into genres. See, I know it's Korean hip-hop, but I don't know what genre of hip-hop these songs fall into. So I've just translated the lyrics as far as I could, and I've researched things about it and analyzed it. By the way, I wanted to clarify that I am no review channel or I am no channel that focuses on Korean videos, even though the last 3 of my videos were about Korean stuff. I just hope I don't continue making more Korean Korean based videos because I have more topics I want to talk about. Oh yeah, I received news that Big Bang is performing at Coachella in a prime slot, that too. They are not used as a filler. I'm so happy to see that because most times K-pop idols are just taken there and they're just put to fill the time. It's so exciting. I'm sure the VIPs must be excited about this. I really hope your expectations are lived up to. I mean, I know it's Big Bang, so your expectations will be lived up to, but I really hope the venue is able to manage things properly. Oh, one more thing. This video was 22 minutes, 22 seconds long because I didn't post a video last Saturday. I didn't realize till a friend told me it's Saturday and asked me for my video. I was like, wait, oh, I'm supposed to post a video. I haven't done it. I want to show you my bracelet. It's a star. I feel like it's a moon and a star. It will be a perfect reference for this specific video. That's why I wore this bracelet. I think I've bored your ears off by now. So on to the video. This is a toy from Channapatna. It's a bird wearing a small hat. I'm going to think this is a flamingo but in red. I know I must have butchered a lot of pronunciations. I tried my best. Also, this video is getting too long, right? Let me quickly wrap it up. Before moving on to another video, watch the bloopers of this video if you want to relax. Otherwise, I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye bye. In this album, he shares. I might have missed. Let's get with the song. Detailed analysis. Wind, go away. Want to make a video today? Cringe. But that's fine. You have to be cringe sometimes. Which talk about all of us are made of the same cosmic dust to rise to the top as fuel. The third song Stendhal, unbelievable trajectory. Studio 60. Your belly button is like a rabbit. Pandora in soul passes. It's like children's scribbles. The hello hi. I'm so a Luna every 29 pound. Which is what he is starting over all again. Sue, not Sue. He says that he from T.O.P's Carl Cohn is a snack, not song. So he asks, but they won't ever be there. So he says he's reborn or puts on a performed lonely, called him a problematic. He was in the wrong of you. This is a bird. After recording this video, first of all, I honest thoughts in the fact that the title of each song, I didn't know T.O.P wasn't releasing. I'm wearing these cloud earrings. They are very adorable, right? I know I've moved places so many times during this video. It's because it started to get sunny and then kids came to play, so I had to move places. You can't stop kids from playing, right? There are a lot of places available, so I can always go somewhere else and film.